consumer expert, also known, I'm rather reticent about saying this, as complaining cow. That sounds a bit rude, Helen. I don't wish to offend you as you come on. But what do you think about the budget and how will it help consumers?
Well, there's a little bit of good news for the consumers in that, there's no movement on fuel and alcohol, so that will be of good news to some. There's a little bit in the national insurance obviously coming down, but the tax bracket is not going up, so we're not necessarily going to see that everybody's going to benefit from that. And I think a lot of consumers would have liked to have seen some of those tax rises and savings going into the local authorities.
And would you, were you more concerned about fiscal drag and the effect that's having on individuals, or giving more money to local authorities, which I certainly wouldn't do because I think local authorities are incompetent?
Well, having worked in one for some years ago, there is certainly some incompetency in councils. I would certainly agree. However, we are also seeing a lot of people suffering. We're seeing the people that are not getting the social care. We're seeing education and mental health really, right at the ends there. We're seeing children waiting for mental health diagnosis and help, for months and months, in some cases years. So actually, I do believe that some of us would actually like to see some of those services receive some funding so that they can support children and families.
And some children and families will be helped by the changes in child benefit. I mean, it's marginal, but that will help people between £50,000 and £60,000 of income.
Yeah, so we are seeing that the 50 is going up, and that I'm glad to see that the Chancellor is looking at consultation for this anomaly where a single parent household can be taxed far more on their on their child benefit than a household that's got two incomes coming in at $49.99 each. So it's good to see that will happen, but I still think that at the other end, where we're seeing people with disabilities, people who are vulnerable, there was nothing in the budget for them.
And nothing much for people who have retired because they don't benefit from the national insurance cut.
And also, yeah, and you could say another vulnerable group. I think it's the vulnerable groups here that have really missed out in the budget.
Well, thank you very much, Helen.